Dame Dash on Win Big with Clear Spots. What's up, Dame?
What's happening? How you?
A lot's happened. I'm doing good. How are you, my brother?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain. I'm just enjoying being a daddy, you know.
Well, you can't complain, but a classy gentleman prefers not to, and just whatever's bothering him, instead of complaining, just fucking fixes it and gets to work. And that's the type of guy Dame Dash is.
You got the bomb.
At least from my perspective.
I appreciate
Was that your daughter that I just seen behind you?
No, that's not my daughter. That's which one? That's Nicolette and that's Hallie.
Okay, hey guys.
Hey.
Dude, you know, it's funny, you know, there's so many things that I can sit here and praise you for and point out the accolades that you've done, but first I want to start by saying thank you for being a great dad, because that's the most important title out of all of them, and I respect and appreciate that. We don't like bad dads here. We don't like deadbeats. Get them out of here.
No, we don't do bad dads. You know, I think being a good dad is the normal. You know, it's crazy when you do your job. It's considered like a big thing. That just means there needs to be a lot more better dads. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, Dave, you've always been, you know, such a poised and like you got like this like fonzie cool about you, man. I never see you like really get emotional unless you're pissed off and you're like, you know, biting somebody's head off. But like, I don't really see you being like a dude that's emotional. Is that safe to say? You don't really publicly show your emotions like that?
Well, you know, I'm pretty transparent about how I feel in the moment. I don't ever mask that. It's just I've learned based on things that have happened to me what's like really a problem and what's not a problem. So like worrying about what somebody thinks or worrying about, you know, what another dude has or what they're saying about you and those kind of things aren't things that are going to aggravate me. I know they come with the game, you know, and if you're not dying or going to jail, you know, or dead, then there really isn't any reason to be so upset, you know, unless there's disrespect involved. And then you have to stand your ground to, you know, make sure it doesn't happen so much more.
Right. So the point of me saying that was, you know, you just got a letter of acknowledgement for your achievements from the governor of New York.
Oh, he sent me a happy birthday, yeah. Big shout out to Cuomo.
Yeah, Andrew Cuomo sent you a letter. But even right now, you're just like, yeah, you know, he just sent me a birthday card. Like, dude, that's a big freaking deal. Like it's like you would think somebody would be like, yo, this is crazy, da da da. You're just like, yeah, that's cool, holla.
Oh no, I definitely appreciate it, and I think it's fly. You know what I mean? And you know, I know where I came from, I know where I'm at, and I always appreciate when a certain level of individual recognizes who I am. So yeah, you know, I'm definitely, you know, hype, and I never take anything for granted. Like I'm living in a dream, and I know it. And in that way, I'm able to enjoy it. That's why it's hard to ever be upset about so many things, because my life has been a dream as of yet.
Even it's been a dream that you created.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely architected it, you know, and I've changed course and I've found different paths to get where I want to go. And, you know, I continue to be inspired by things daily that make me move forward to where I really want to be, you know.
Right.
But I haven't gotten where I want to go yet. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, what was the last thing?
I haven't gotten where I want to go yet.
I don't think people with minds like you ever do, because I think you're always on a quest to continue to be greater and outdo yourself. And you're in a competition with yourself, and like you said, you don't pay attention to other people. So, I mean, I think you're one of those personalities that you could conquer the world, and you're like, all right, what's next? You think that about yourself?
Yeah, it's like the terms on which I conquer the world. So if I conquer the world one way, and I believe that, you know, that might not necessarily be the best way, like if I have to do it with people that I don't respect, or if I have to use other people's bread, you know, or, you know, make money off other people's talent, you know, I've done that, but I don't like it, so I had to change course. So, you know, my way of impressing myself in these moments is doing it completely independent on my own, and standing behind my talent as opposed to, you know, showing other people how to do certain things and how to act a certain way, and then they go and act like they're me.
Right. So, you know, a lot of people watch and listen to this show to learn how to win big from other people like yourself, you know, that have had wins, that have had losses, that have learned lessons, that ups and downs. And you've been somebody that's, you know, overcome a lot and continues to go. So for those people that are listening, I really want to kind of dive in a little bit about your mentality and the psychology behind the way that you operate and the way that you continue to push forward and continue to have the drive that you have. So I want to go back to like a young Dame. Like, where did you get this fire? Where did you get this kind of insatiable appetite to win and continue to like, no, we're going to do it this way. I know that my way is right. And like, you have a really strong personality. And it's like, you know, I know my way is right. Let's do it this way. Where did that come from?
I mean, the desire to be the best came from probably being, you know, from Harlem and, you know, wanting to buy nice things. So it made me, you know, into a hustler. And then, like, you know, losing people I love at a very early age, it turned me into a beast, you know, because I was no longer afraid of anything. You know, losing the people you love, that in the moment when you're young, that's like your worst nightmare. So when you face that dragon, nothing scares you, you know?
Right.
So, you know, having experience in winning, especially winning in circumstances that most don't, very challenging ones, you know, survival, and then going into a place where people have never had to survive and haven't, and, you know, how can they tell you how to survive? So, you know, I respect what people tell me, but they have had to have done certain things for me to respect what they're saying. You know, if I've already done something that they haven't, you can't be a fan and call a play from the sideline. You got to be in the game, you know?
You know, I love that theory, and, you know, I stand by that as well. You know, there's so many people, especially nowadays with the internet, there's so many scammers out here and people trying to sell you on ways to help you, but they've never even really achieved the success that you're trying to achieve, which leads me to the point of, you're somebody that's done that, and I think that you're a really important voice that needs to be heard more for what you've accomplished and for the wisdom that you can instill into this next generation. And you're still doing it, you know, you're still an example of somebody that's doing it. You recently said in an interview that the good guy gets punished. Are you the good guy?
Yeah, I'm the bad guy to bad people, you know. But if you're like a truth teller and you're fighting for, you know, people that can't fight for themselves, then the people that are oppressing them are going to be against you. They're going to try to stop what you're doing because it fucks up their hustle. So yeah, when you're enlightening people and showing them how to do things on their own when they're dependent on others, you know, when they think they're number two when they're really number one, yeah, of course you're going to get resistance. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody going to punish me, but they're going to try. But then they get themselves punished.
Right. In the effort of trying to punish you.
It's funny because, you know, every time somebody tries to do something where it takes away from my legacy, it just makes it bigger. You know, I understand who I'm meant to talk to. I understand, you know, who's meant to listen. So, you know, the people that aren't hearing aren't meant to hear. They don't need me. They don't want to hear me because they're doing life and doing things a different way. But the people that need to hear me, you know, they hear me. And, you know, that's why I may be more popular in certain places than others. I'm more popular in places where people want to be self-aware, where people want to evolve, where people don't want to be given things, where people want to have self-awareness of who they are and how strong they are. You know, people that want to break patterns. And, you know, that's where I thrive, in helping and evolving with and teaching people what I learn as I learn it. You know what I mean? Never hiding the plug. So I'm where I'm supposed to be at based on the people that are meant to be learning from me. Those are the people that need me the most. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think there would be anybody that would want to, you know, devalue your legacy? I mean, you've accomplished...
Because if my legacy looks big, then their legacy looks small. You know, people are trying to take the credit for things I've done, which is traditionally what happens, right? You know, people try to control the narrative, but I'm not someone that's going to let the narrative be controlled. I'm going to control my own likeness, my own image, and the memory of how I go down. That's the reason why I started a television network, a streaming service. That's why I built an indie boutique conglomerate to protect my legacy and my children's legacy. If someone's paying for what I'm doing, if I'm corporate, if I do something they don't like, they're just going to try to erase you, and they have the control too. They're the ones that have edited you, they've captured you, they own you. You know, they decide how you go down in history. But what I notice is those that, you know, don't give a fuck about their culture, that'll sell their culture off. Of course they're going to be empowered by another culture because they're helping that other culture oppress us. Of course they're going to be celebrated by another culture. The biggest massa or the biggest person that says massa is the one that's going to get celebrated the most by a certain demographic.
Right. So we have like almost 10,000 people watching right now. There's a lot of people that can learn a lot from your wisdom, and I think, are you really involved online? Are you paying attention to what's going on with the youth culture online right now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So I'm asking to ask this. There's a lot of 19, 20-year-old kids that feel that they're at like a boss status now, right? They'll read a book, watch a course, listen to a Gary Vee, listen to a podcast, and think like, they have like, you have a wealth of knowledge because of the experience that you went through, right? And these people think that they're on a level of like, I wouldn't say you, but they think that they're on a level of being at the top of the food chain of entrepreneurship. Do you think that there's an advantage to coming up from the streets or coming up from a different way than just kind of learning on the internet, where it seems like most people don't learn and grow from experience. They learn from listening to podcasts, seeing a course. Do you think that there's a different result?
We'll see.
And had to go through trial and error?
We'll see. I mean, for me, experience is the best school, and you kind of judge, your worth by what you've done. You know what I'm saying? So, not what you know, what you've done. You know what you've done, not what you think you could do. So if you want to be rolling and you think you got all the tools to roll and you're not rolling, then you haven't learned. But the only way to, understand the game is to get in the game and actually play it. I mean, that's how I see it.
And you don't know what you don't know, right?
Exactly.
So to those that came up in my era, you'll always be a legend and part of the dynasty that we'll always remember, right? Despite the outcome, people will remember the greatness of more than whatever the outcome was. And I'm talking about Rockefeller. I mean, from doing the dice roll to like you were part of the fabric of culture. You were helping to move culture forward. You were the culture, right? And responsible for an entire era of hits and superstar artists. And obviously we all know Jay-Z's a part of that. So, and you played a massive role in his entire career, and what we all know of him now. At what point during that, you guys were on top of the world, doing tours, making lots of money, selling platinum records. At what point did you feel the kind of rumblings of the fabric of what you built start to tear a little bit? Man, something's feeling weird.
When everybody stops saying pause, when certain people stop saying pause.
So wait, that created, am I right in saying you created that? Because as far as I remember, you did.
Yeah, the best out. We created that, the whole thing.
Yeah, so Dame created, for you guys that don't know, whenever somebody says something that could be taken, how do we politically say this now, Dame?
I don't even, see, the thing about pause is you don't explain it.
Yeah. Anybody that knows, if you know, you know. So Dame created the pause in saying, and holla. And,
I can't say I created holla, but I could definitely say we got pause. I'm gonna take holla, but I'll take pause.
All right, well, you got pause. Well, when I think of holla, I think of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe.
So,
I forgot about
holla. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I said that a lot. Holla. Yeah.
So when when everybody, the camaraderie of everybody fucking with each other and saying pause,
well, it was
down.
just, it was more like
we
had unwritten rules that we were, probably bound together from the street experience. And once that street experience wasn't or those morals and the things in that fabric wasn't respected anymore, in my point of view. And also, I got uninspired. It was a thing where I just didn't really want to be doing hip hop music anymore because I just didn't want to be around what came with it. So, dealing with young, traumatized, unrecognized, younger men that are traumatized and they don't understand why. There's a lot of things that come with that. And I had daughters, and I really had to provide and create an environment that my daughters could be around without me having to feel that they weren't safe.
Right.
And I got more inspired by doing the fashion. And I had felt like, that was a block I had hustled on long enough. Like, how long am I going to sell nickels? The money wasn't really what it was supposed to be. It was more of a facade. So it was like, I'm about real business. I'm about making real money. I'm not about pretending I'm something I'm not, being around people I don't respect, and also fighting for good taste. It just becomes tiring. You know what I mean? And then dealing with people that on an intelligent level just aren't where you're at. So it'd be like, that's why I started smoking weed, because I'd be talking to people. It was like I'm talking to literally a wall. And these would be people that I was supposed to be like looking up to, people that were supposed to be teaching me things. You know what I mean? And what they were teaching me is they don't know a fucking thing, but how to survive and stay where they're at and exploit our culture with somebody else's pocketbook. And I think that shit is corny. So when I started to look at the environment, and I'm like, damn, I can't be looking like that. And I can't be feeling like that. And I'm not inspired. I don't feel like fighting. I don't feel like carrying a gun. I don't feel like being, fighting to survive anymore. I got into the business to get out of that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, that was my exit strategy. I leaned more toward fashion. And then after that, I wanted to do media. I wanted to be creative. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to take a break and just really raise my kids. What I was seeing was, just based on my experience with my son, is that even if I have custody of him, the business was taking more of my life and my lifestyle. And at that time, I was justifying it like, I got to make the money so that my kids could be all right. But that shit don't matter. It's the time you spend with your children and your family. And
wait. That's super powerful. I think a lot of people, what you just said is probably the most said or thought thing from anybody that's hustling or working really hard to make themselves believe and justify why it's okay to neglect spending the time with your kid. And anybody that's paying attention that hasn't got to that point yet wouldn't really understand. But the fact that you would say, nah, man, I got to keep working because my job is to make sure they have a secure future. But part of that is the balance of being there for that kid, to teach them and guide them and listen to them and talk to them, and not just make sure they have a nice house or can pay for college. So that was just a really powerful thing that you just said. I wanted to point that out.
Yeah, and those are priceless moments that you can't buy back. So, I have a newborn at 50, but I'm finally able to stay home, and I've been able to be in his life every single day for the first 6 months of his life, and I'm not going to stop. I love it. And, I'm like, damn, this is better than any party, any award. This is better than any dollar, any girl. This is better than anything that I've ever experienced.
Right.
Being able, and I made enough money to where I could actually enjoy raising my child without having to worry. And also, I was able to not be in a place where I'm so tight and stereotyped at doing one thing that, I had to be able, like, if I was, that my trajectory was to be this one person forever, and it just wasn't the person that I wanted to be forever. It was the person I wanted to be in my 20s. So the hip-hop mogul thing was 20s, but then the fashion thing was 30s. And then for 40s, I was the media thing. But what I learned by the time I got to like 35 is, I can't be using other people's money. I don't give a fuck what they tell you. You know what I'm saying? It's just because then I got to hang out with people I don't like. Then people are telling me what to do, And to me, it's not about the volume. It's really about the quality. You know what I'm saying? So my quality of living skyrocketed when I left that way of doing business, because I was able. See, I don't think what most people that just know me for Rockefeller don't know me for is DD 172. It's for opening up art galleries all around the world for the last 10 years. It's for teaching the world how to be independent. I'm the DNA of the millennials, which is now Generation Zen or whatever. I am the person that opened those doors for do-it-yourself, DIY, for appreciating art, and I got the receipts to show it. And I also wanted to diversify my music palette because I love all kinds of music. But what I started to get really inspired by was live instrumentation. I was sick of seeing people perform over tracks. There's an art in 3 or 4 instruments being able to play something really good at the same time, live. So I started to do rock and roll projects. So people don't talk about the facts that I put the Black Keys on. They were the #1 rock and roll group in America. But I did a project independently called Black Rock where I captured it, made up the term webisode, put them out. This is 2009, right? Had a radio station, you know, had webisodes coming out, and then put it out independently. And I put them with Pharoah Monch, RZA, Raekwon, Q-Tip, you know, Most Def. Did some real artistic shit. And that's a vinyl experience. So I, you know, even though digital is great, but I just started to be more vinyl, you know, more appreciative of quality, you know, like I got real snobby, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, quality of people on a level that I couldn't even have imagined. You know what I'm saying? At a young age. To understand what real wealth was. When I was young, I thought wealth was money. I didn't know wealth was laughter, happiness, love, health, and all those things. And when you go to my television network, that's exactly what you're going to see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And healing, you know, and learning. And doing it in a way that's not traditional, because the way that we're taught to learn is taught to control us like we're the masses. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was talking to somebody today, and because, you know, the other day I had to run to New York real fast, and I wasn't going to put up I had to go for a day. So I'm not paying that much money for a private jet to go for a day, because I couldn't bring my family. My girl's not vaccinated. I am. I got a baby. So I had to go commercial. So I'm like, damn, because when I go through an airport, it's the only time that I'm able to really witness the world and be a part of it equally. Like, I got to stand in the line, and I'm looking at how people are controlled. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, because also I was on mushrooms and shit, right? So I'm thinking to myself, damn, the only way to control the masses, they have to have lines. They have to be told where to go, when to go, how to go, what time to go. When you fly private, you just walk in, you out. So the thing is, I don't want to be a part of the masses. Because if you're a part of the masses, then you have to have a master. And that's what I don't want. I don't want to have to be controlled. It's just to control the masses. So you have to do something that someone else is not doing. You don't want to be atmosphere. You want to be completely different, and you have to live life with a purpose. You have to stand for something. And that's what inspires me, right? Doing different things, learning different things, creating different things, and doing it in a way that hasn't been done. Because the way we've been taught has only been taught to us to control us. Right. You got over 13,000 people now. Everyone's loving what you got to say. A bunch of people about it. First of all, two things. One, tell people about the network you just mentioned. Because you just said that really fast. So Dame Dash Studios, you get the app, Dame Dash Studios, and you can also go to the, dame-studios.com, and it's a streaming service, all original programming. And one of the innovations that my thing does that most don't, that none do, is while you're watching, you can buy what you see without disengaging. So you press a shop button, and while you're watching, you buy what you see. So if we're doing this interview and I put it on my network, while we're watching it, the CEO shirt will pop up, and if you like it and you're inspired, bang, you can buy it right there. It also shows magazines, books, and music, all in one spot. So when you get there, you stay there. It's an environment that you learn, you're entertained, and you can shop and be fresh while you're there. Well, it's funny that you brought up that shirt, because a bunch of people in the chat asked where can they get that shirt. So we should have been doing that now live. You can get it. Well, I just got this shit, so they're going to put it up tomorrow. Is that you? What? The shirt you? Yeah, of course. That's the DD. Yeah, when you see the DD, the embroidery, that means it's Poppington. Dame Dash did it. So, you go to poppington.com. And you can go to Dame Dash Studios, and you can get it. You can buy it, you know. So, and then also, it's a 24-hour network. So literally, I think, what's the hours, Nicolette, that it plays? Literally, it plays before the paywall. You'll go and you can watch with commercials. But I've also launched the network on IGTV. So if you go to Dame Dash Studios, you could actually watch it on the live not 24 hours, but like 12 hours a day. Right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Amir, can you put the two sites that Dame just said in the chat? Because people are asking what was the site again. Yeah. Plus, I want everybody to get familiar. Appreciate that. Dame Dash Studios.
course, that's what we do, man. That's what we do. I won't forget my giant Rockefeller plaque.
I mean, I forgot mine. I don't know where that shit is at.
Yeah, mine broke, so I just have like the plexiglass part now.
Well, you could always get another one. And one day I'll order all those records over.
But thank you for all that anyhow. You always supported the DJs. It's funny because back when I was young, I would come into the Def Jam building, and I would come up to Rockefeller, and you were always super cool to me. Like, you didn't even know me. You didn't even know me. You just knew I was a DJ, and you're just like, hey, what's up, man? Da-da-da. And I was just a young kid just coming up, and you guys were already Rockefeller, right? So it was super cool. So when I think of Rockefeller, I think of you as, the captain of the ship, if you will, right? And so it's really interesting to hear your perspective of, and I'm asking these as like a hip hop fan that I know I'm not the only one that wants to know these questions. So if the questions you don't want to answer, we can move on. But I think
I'll let you know. You know me.
Okay, cool. You were saying. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. I was just asking.
You were saying that you just felt like it was time. But do you feel like everybody felt that way? It was just everyone was like, maybe we did enough of this. Let's all move on.
Well, no, because you got to remember at the height of Rockefeller, everything was popping. We had Kanye, we had Dipset,
right.
We had State Property, we had MOP. Shit was really popping. There wasn't no reason for it to end. But I just was like, yo, this shit could be on cruise control now. I made everybody independent of me. So guys like, Kanye and Jay, they went and did what they did, and certain people might not have, had that person to fight for them or like other people have. But I just wanted to enjoy my life. I felt like I had.
So wait, did it come down to when like you, because you were the voice, right? You were the one. We all know the famous video of you in the executive room, like wilding out and stuff like that. So is it a bit of like you weren't like the guard dog there, making sure shit was happening the way everybody wanted it? So it was like, what are we doing this for if Dame's not gonna?
I was the guy that was gonna fight for everyone equally, no matter how many records you sold.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, it didn't matter how many records you sold to me. If I made a commitment to make sure that you were seen and that you were heard and that we were going to invest in you, then I had a formula for everybody. But the formula was for everybody to be equal.
Right. Running through the same formula.
It was supposed to be everybody's supposed to be having a certain kind of money. And not just one or two people, the whole team.
Right. And it's funny because you guys did have the, La Familia, you guys had the family vibe, and it felt like exactly what you're saying is what Rockefeller felt like. It didn't feel like there was a bunch of bums and we're only focusing on one person. It was like, this is all Rockefeller and everybody's killer.
Yeah, that was then.
Yeah, memories. Last question I'll ask regarding that is there's a famous video that I'm sure you've seen it too online. There's been plenty of memes made about it, but it's a video where like you and Bleak and everybody's celebrating. It looks like it's backstage on tour or something, and you guys are all like excited about something, yelling Michael Jackson and da-da-da. And the whole time you guys are happy and in a celebratory spirit, Jay's just like looking at the floor as if like somebody died. Like, I don't even want to be here right now. What was happening in that moment? Like, that's one video everybody knows and there's memes about it. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah, he was just
what was the real thing happening?
He was just acting cool. That was all.
He was just looking into space for no reason.
He was just acting cool.
Didn't want to celebrate with the homies.
He was just acting cool. So, like, you see the part in State Property where I'm like, yo, you got to go get together. And he's like, yo, go handle that. Same thing. Yeah. That was just the demeanor. That was his character.
Got it. So we got that answered, everybody.
Or at least, I can't tell you what that man was thinking, but that's how I saw it.
Right. What, it's an artist you had on Rockefeller that not many people know. And you're responsible for it. Not only are you responsible for it, but I produced the record that you talked on and introduced this one artist that nobody ever refers to as being part of Rockefeller. You know what artist I'm talking about?
Mm-mm. Which one?
Joe Budden.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that funny? Nobody ever talks about Joe Budden was a Rockefeller.
Neither did Joe Budden.
Exactly. But that's crazy that you brought Joe Budden into Rockefeller and it's just like, wait,
Noriega was on Rockefeller too for a little while.
Nori was?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. But yeah, I got that record. We put that record out. It's called Rock Cafe.
But what happened is if like somebody was neglecting an artist that I liked at Def Jam, I'd be like, yo, come out, I'll help you out. And I didn't like the way they were carrying Joe Buttons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
But you know, that was a lot of people were vetoing it. Or not a lot, but you know. You know.
Would it be the same people that vetoed Cameron and Dipset and them?
Basically.
Got it.
And Kanye.
And Kanye. You believed in Kanye from the beginning, yeah?
I mean, he was making hit records for us. So I had, again, a formula. So it was like, if you got a gold record with any one of the artists, then all you had to do was a compilation with all the artists and produce it, and we would guarantee to go. So my original intention for Kanye was for him to be a producer. I wasn't expecting him to rap. And also he went and got snuck around our back and did a deal at Capitol, but it went sour. So he had, I was like, I told you not to go over there. And then I was like, let me just do what you got. Let me handle that. But also John Legend was supposed to be on Rockefeller too.
So was Kanye, were you part of the kind of the collective of people that didn't see him being an MC at the time?
Yeah, nobody saw that shit.
What did he do that made you finally see it?
He made records. When he fucking broke his jaw and I sent him the drum machine, and him and Cootie and Shike started to, because I was a guy that was always taping everything, and he was the guy that was the only person that really listened to me and had a crew taping him, and I always liked that. And then, when he had a broken jaw, I love that he just wasn't sitting around. And really, I think Biggs was the one that was like, yo, he's kind of catching fire. We need to pay attention to him.
Right.
And the crazy thing was, Kanye almost didn't end up on Def Jam because Lior didn't want to put him out. Because at the time, the Young Guns Can't Stop, Won't Stop had 2,000 BDS detections, which was a big deal back then. And he wanted to chase the Young Guns record. And he was like, we can't put money on both at the same time. I was like, you're stupid. So I had this deal with him, if he wouldn't put the records out, that I can go and set deals up other places because he couldn't stop me. So I had deals at Sony and Elektra and all that. So I was doing a deal over at Warner, but somebody said some bonehead shit over there, and I just was like, I'm going from one moron to the next. But in hindsight, I should have moved it over there because then it wouldn't have fell under that formula after we sold. We would have still continued to participate.
Right, but you and Kanye continued to participate as friends and co-workers throughout the years.
Yeah, for the first couple of years, no. But then after a while, yeah.
Do you think Kanye felt a certain kind of way at first, at the beginning, when Rockefeller kind of split up and he's had to take sides? Do you feel like you had to take sides?
You didn't have to take sides. You got to ask him, bro. I can't tell you.
Right. So all that you've done by building, a massively successful record label, there's a bunch of people out here now trying to emulate, whether they know it or not, trying to emulate exactly what you've already accomplished with a record label. What kind of advice would you give to a bunch of young cats or a young Dame Dash who's got the drive and the hustle that you got? What are some lessons that you learned, or the one valuable lesson that, maybe is you should pay more attention to this and don't worry about this shit if you're trying to get to a status like that? What advice would you give to a guy that's trying to start the new Dame Dash?
Well, number one, if you're just thinking record label, you're not thinking like Dame Dash. I always thought in 360. So the reason why Rockefeller was different was because we didn't only have music, we had movies and television, and we were just doing a completely 360 experience for everybody. So we would have Cologne. To me, the music was just a commercial. It wasn't the money maker. And once I realized how much money we were splitting with Def Jam and Universal, I was like, this ain't no money. I'm going to just use all these millions that they're wasting and use that as a commercial for the ancillary things.
Right.
And then I would go into the office after I started Rockware and we're doing all these things, and I would laugh at Leo and say, look, you can't get any of this. And he would be fuming. And then that's how the 360 deal actually happened.
Right.
Because they were mad because I was laughing at him because Todd Moskowitz did a stupid-ass deal.
With Rockefeller.
As far as the formula and the fact that they didn't participate on the ancillary things, despite the fact that you got to think, when you put, at least back then, when you put an album out, you're putting millions of dollars behind that album, right? So
Yep.
if you're going to advertise somebody that much, the stuff they're wearing, which the record company didn't own, I'm going to use that to sell everything else that they don't own.
Right.
So to me, the music part of it was just a commercial for the ancillary things. Nobody makes
Right.
money in music. You know, I mean, you make
Yep.
money, but the kind of money you make is when you get those other kind of deals.
Right.
People aren't famous
but
for
the
the-
new artists now would be subjected to what now is a 360 deal.
But
Labels
they
are
choose
obviously
that.
smart enough.
But right, that was before streaming. That was before, you know, having the ability to put your own record out, and there was no internet back then. So
Right.
before, you know, to be seen, you know, you had to know somebody, pay somebody. There was only television and radio. Now you could be seen like that. Nothing can stop you. Like if there wasn't the internet, the world would have a completely different set of stars right now and famous
Right.
people. You know,
Way less stars.
well, there'll be more, but they probably would be different. You know, they wouldn't be famous because of the fact that they were seen independently, which most are now. And the only way a record company is actually going to support your record is if you have the numbers to support it. So unless
Right.
they see you doing Instagram and fucking everything else, TikTok, if they don't see numbers, they ain't put no money behind you at all.
Right.
But so right now, you actually put yourself in a position for someone to give you a check, where before they kind of had to choose you. You know, you had to be lucky and you had to kiss ass and all that.
Took a bet on you.
It was a different kind of person that got there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like, you
So what
can't
do you
stop
what do you
these
say
kids
to
right now.
artists that think 360 deals are a scam?
I mean, it's hard to tell someone that's never had a dollar to say no to $1 million or $2 million.
Right.
You know, it's hard. So I would tell them just that, but you know, you'll learn, and then
Well, I think-
afterwards you'll do it the right way. But you
I
know,
think your advice is good for that person that never had a dollar, because that's why they need to hear from people like you, because to understand, like, this is what they're going to try to do, this is what you can do, this is what you might have to sacrifice.
what I can say is this: I've definitely warned every single artist, and every single artist that came through, especially DD172, that was talking all that indie shit. As soon as a label waved the bag in their face, they took it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a Wiz Khalifa, that's a Currency, that's a Styley, that's a Big Crit. All of them started with this independent tone until someone gave them a bag. You know what I'm saying? No
Right.
disrespect to them. I'm just
Right.
saying it's hard to tell somebody, yo, don't take millions of dollars and you've never had, 50,000 in your life.
Right.
So you have to sometimes get served and then, you know, get it out your system and then go do it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Dave, well, your production company, I know
Even like a J Electronica, bro. You know what I'm
Say
saying?
what?
Even J Electronica. Like they were all in the gallery with me and we would talk independence. But, you know, I'm not mad at them. But again, it's like human nature. They're going to get the bag, at least when you're young. Once you've had something, then you know, like, yo, I'm not going to let you, I'd rather wait it out. But when you're
Right.
like underwater, it's hard to say no. And these people, these culture vultures, they take advantage of that fact where I won't.
Right. It goes back to the experience that we were talking about earlier. You know, I look at you, Dame, as like, take away the scamming people and selling whack shit, but like you're like the Jordan Belfort in the music business. I think you should make a movie called The Dynasty, and it's like it's your 8 Mile. You know what I mean? And I think that's something.
I
that
made a
your
movie
production-
called Death of a Dynasty.
Right. I know, but I'm saying there should be a movie.
It was a
where it's like-
parody. Yeah, you're right. I just got to be in the mood. You know what I'm saying? Again, to revisit my past means my future's boring me. But my future is so exciting. You know, every project I do takes attention from another project. So
Right.
there's so many projects that I could do about so many different eras in
Yeah.
my life. But it's like, do I really feel like, you know, I spent a lot of time trying to get away from that shit.
But
If
look
I
at
make
the
a
Wolf of
movie,
Wall
it's like I
Street.
got to go
It-
back. I don't feel like going back right now.
The Wolf of Wall Street, like, you know, inspired a generation, and you're that same aspirational story that could tell the same thing.
The only difference between me and the Wolf of Wall Street is I didn't tell on nobody.
You
You
weren't
know what I'm saying?
ashamed
It's
about
like-
the business,
But I ain't telling nobody.
right?
That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the good part of it, but my morals have never been compromised no matter what, whether I make a mistake or not. I stand behind what I do, and I'm
Right.
never going to compromise that, ever. So no
Right.
disrespect to nobody. But I'm just saying that there's a unique difference between me and most. Is I've never, no matter what, given away none of my nuts. It's not gonna happen. Yo, can you come outside with me? Like my morals and my integrity, I walk away from money, because all money ain't good money, any second before I would come out of pocket and be someone that I'm not. I just wouldn't do it. I can't do it.
Facts. I've watched over the years. Dave, you got a lot of things going on, and you've done a lot of things. What would you say is Dame Dash's biggest strength?
Loving people. I love myself so much that I know how to love others. You know, if you don't know how to love you, how can you love somebody else? So, you know, I'm just good lover. Pause. I know how to give affection.
I don't know if that, I mean, I know you're the creator of it, but I'm not sure if that warranted a pause. Because I assumed.
Just in case. Because I said lover to another dude.
I assumed you were talking about lover.
Still, just in case.
What is Dame Dash's biggest weakness?
Love. Regardless of what anyone does, I still give love, I still trust, I still give people the benefit of the doubt. But I don't have so much expectation, you know. My strength is my weakness.
Well said. Dame, are there any things that you've worked on or been working on that we're not familiar that you're behind right now? And if not, then what are you working on now outside of the platform that people need to be familiar? Or is that what we should be focused on now?
Well, the thing is, there's some collaborative things that I've done and that I'm doing. But when I do collaborative things, you know, I always have to be subject to the person I'm collaborating with. So I'm never the guy that can speak until they want to speak. So there's a lot of shit that I've done with people that people love on a lot of different levels that haven't come out. That may and may not, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm establishing a narrative of the way the world is going to function and how they're going to digest information and content, how we're going to learn. You know, I'm a big part and I'm a big advocate of just chiseling down, you know, the oppression and, you know, getting to the awareness. So I've done things like got with crews, like, you know, I'm down with this crew called The Commission that I put together. And that's the OSG network with Dennis McKeezy, whose birthday it is. Big shout out to Dennis, happy birthday. But he put together 90 black principles. And all we do is talk about curriculum and how to help and how to love. And, you know, they become a serious family. And Bishop Purnell to talk about the education of religion and systemic racism. And Dr. Purnell, you know, a very strong, powerful black woman that's on CNN every day. You know, she runs a hospital, you know, and just very articulate in the information that she gets and tells us the truth. And then us recognizing unrecognized trauma. And, you know, I got two therapists, Taj and Melanie, you know. And then I have a senator, Eddie Milton, and then I have Congressman Andre Carson. So, you know, right now, my thing is to make it cool, to be aware of how to help, how to pass laws, how to lobby, understanding the right education that we need to free us, not control us, you know, and implementing that and making that normal. We also deal with prison reform, you know, making sure that you're getting the rehabilitation that you need, you know, in your brain, and also making sure the food is right. And then also, you know, I'm diabetic, so health is wealth to me. One of the shows is called Health is Wealth, which my girl, my wife, my fiance Raquel has, where she shows you how to eat. You know, I'm vegan, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm understanding and seeing that meat is the #1 killer before the bullet. So I'm seeing my homeboys survive in the street and real tough, and a cheeseburger ends up killing them. You know, it's the #1 cause of diabetes, #1 cause of cancer, and the #1 cause of heart disease. You know, all the GMO and the non-organic food. You know, it's about really having a sustainable life and enjoying it. If you got money in the bank, a whole lot of it, and you sick and you can't spend it, you'll spend all that money to be able to breathe. You know what I'm saying? Or to be able to walk, or be able to do the things that are just normal and priceless that are free. So preserving your health is the real wealth. And getting your brain together is really important as well. You know, if you don't understand what's bothering you, you can't fix it. So just surviving as a black man is traumatic. You know, and there's a lot of unrecognized trauma. Like, you know, the normal back then is not the same normal as it was as it is today. So understanding that is a whole thing within itself. You know?
Yeah, that.
So putting that into the entertainment, into the content, into the learning, you know, even on the network, we deal with, you know, things above what they're teaching us in religion, like the Emerald Tablets and the Dead Sea Scrolls and what's going on, you know, on Mars with the Anunnakis and all of that. We got Billy Carson, Forbidden Knowledge. So we got all of that happening. You know what I mean? So it's about wanting to know
Wait. I'm not even familiar with that. What were you saying about Mars?
You don't know about that?
I do not know about that. Can you get me familiar, Dame Dash?
Well, you know, in all text, Emerald Tablets, Dead Sea Scrolls, look at everything around the world. You know, everything revolves about shit coming out the sky, right? And there's a lot of the same similar stories. So the story is, you know, the Anunnakis got chased from one galaxy, or, you know, and there was some kind of Death Star that was blowing up planets, so they camped out on Mars. They went to Mars, you know, and they had a war for Mars, ran to Earth to mine gold because they needed it for the atmosphere. They were so far away from their planet that they started breaking rules. And because they were building pyramids and things of that nature, and they were starting to feel like slaves, they took the humanoids, modified them, and turned us into humans. That's why we have such a slave mentality. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, what happened was the Anunnaki started messing with the women, you know, and there were two brothers, a Nick and a Neil, if I'm saying the names right. And, you know, one didn't give a fuck about the humans, but one had a kid with one of the women. And the big flood was coming, and, you know, they was like, fuck it, wipe them away, we'll start from new. Also, they made it where you only live 120 years. You know, they didn't deal with machines because they knew machines would take over. All this is in ancient text. And the child that one of the dudes had, one of the brothers had, was with a woman, and they had a kid named Noah. And then they gave Noah a spaceship and all his DNA, and, you know, so on and so forth. So you can learn about all that shit. It's in text. You know, I've heard the black box where they said they saw, you know, domes on the moon. You know, the shit rings when you drop something on it. You know, it's strategically, if the moon wasn't exactly where it is, the Earth couldn't exist. Like exactly where it is. You know? So it was strategically put there. There's no way it could have just landed there. If you look at all the craters, they all kind of the same size. You know what I mean? And again, like I said,
I think your dogs are getting a telepathic message right now.
Now, what's happening is somebody's at the door. Who's at the door?
They're like, Dad, stop talking about this. Just, no, don't stop.
I mean, this is things that, whether you believe it or not, is out there. You know, and these are things they don't teach you. And if you notice, a lot of this UFO shit is starting to become common knowledge right now. But I've been kicking it with Billy Carson about 2 or 3 years. He got about over a million followers. He's cracking. He's on, you know, Gaia. If you look at Gaia and all of that, he's on all of that shit. But, you know, we've done a couple things and had schools and all type of shit. But, you know, there's things that I want to learn. I want to hear about everything, not what they tell us, what they not telling us. That's what I'm looking to learn.
No, I do too. That's why I elaborate. I do too. That's why I asked you to elaborate, because when you said that, I'm like, wait, what was that? Because I never heard that before, so I wanted to hear what you had to say.
Follow Forbidden Knowledge and Billy Carson and all that shit. Anunnakis. You don't know about that?
Nah. So is that stuff that'll be on your platform as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's on my platform. Go check it out.
I will. I'm going to. Let's put the link in the chat again, Amir, to his platform.
Play it in the back.
Dame, what do you want to be remembered most for? 50 years from now, when or 70 years from now, when you unfortunately may move on?
I mean, you know, luxury Che Rivera type shit. You know, that kind of thing. I feel like I'm known as a conqueror, an industry conqueror. Like, I'm not famous for acting or rapping or singing. I'm famous for conquering, like Mark Anthony or Alexander the Great. You know, back in those days, you could only be famous if you had no matter how much money you had. Unless you conquered something, you weren't worth shit. So I'm a conqueror. I'm a fighter, and fighting for things that I love and for fighting the right fight. You know, you know, sort of like a mix of a lot of different people. A mix of Martin Luther King, Farrakhan, Malcolm X, Barry Gordy. You know, Steven Spielberg. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's ever been an individual that's as savvy or artistic at a professional level as me. And I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm just saying I don't see nobody directing films. I don't see nobody writing songs. I don't see nobody doing the business. I don't see nobody making, actually doing rock and roll. I don't see nobody doing art, like all doing fashion, making magazines. I got all of that shit. But I do it all at a professional level independently because I'm good at it. I don't really outsource. I have one crew, and with my direction, we get everything done. So look, here, I'll show you real quick. Where's Hallie left?
Yeah.
She don't even be saying bye.
Said it softly.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on Win Big
So
on
here.
Play Sports, we got Dave Dash, who's going to show us
Okay. But look.
the operation.
Then why you doing that one? I don't know why you put that one up. Why do you keep doing it?
DJ Lee, we already talked about Rockefeller Records.
Yeah, this conversation. So put it up the right way. So yeah, she got the one on the app. I want to show you all the functions. But
Dave, when you get in a good mood,
I'm always
first
in
of
a
all,
good
how
mood.
often are you in a good mood? Are you in a good mood right now?
Hell yeah, why would I be in a bad mood?
I don't know. You just always seem a little perturbed.
Not perturbed at all. I have passion for what I speak about. If you speak to me about perturbing things, then you're gonna feel that energy. So, I don't look like that when you're talking about my son, or when I'm talking about, the things that are, revisiting the past and things that need to be fixed.
Right.
When it's time to get into the ring, I'm vicious and ferocious. You don't want to be in front of me. But when I get out the ring and we're family and you're the person I'm fighting for, you just want to only be with me. Because I'm the person that's going to make sure you're all right. I take pride in the man that I am. You know what I'm saying? I take pride in that. But when we talk about fighting, you're going to get that energy. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about things that need to be changed, you're going to get the energy as the reasons why and how. That's the energy you're going to get. So, people tend to catch me at that time because that's what they like to talk about. But shit, ain't nobody happier than me. Nobody laughs more than me. And no one's having more fun than me. I challenge anybody to show me somebody that's had more fun than me in the last 30 years. Like real fun. Not the posing fun. The everyday, all day fun. No one has that.
The reason I asked is because, I don't even know why there's not more gifs and memes of this, of you doing your dance, because that's the ultimate happy dance. So that's the reason why I was asking. Do you still do that dance when you're happy?
No, I'm fucking 50. I do a whole different dance. Here, look, check it out. Here, look. No, I'm saying that's my dance 30 years ago. That's the 25, 30-year-old thing dance. Look, this is the streaming service right there. She's playing. If you press, so look. I just play some any good movie. I just to kill. So bomb. Hit the episode. And then it's boom. While you watching shit, press shop. Bomb. You buy shit while you watching. You feel me? All that. Don't fuck around. And I'm having fun, I got a rock group. I'm in a rock band.
Well, you signed Samantha Ronson to Rockefeller too.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that rock. That's just white people shit. But she, wait, hold on, let me get this shit right. Nicolette, help me out with this. Yeah, I did sign Samantha Ronson back. No, I ain't forget. The shit's in Mean Girls. All those records are in Mean Girls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure somebody got some bread and some publishing. I had Duncan Hine. What's his name?
Yeah.
Not Duncan Hine. That's called Hine. Duncan Sheik produced it. He's like rock and rolled up.
Right.
But yeah, I did that. I signed her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm super excited about, your new venture. A good buddy of mine, Q the Rebel, the videographer.
Oh shit, yeah, we know Q. Yeah, actually, what I was just showing you, he helped me shoot that.
Yeah. So he's a good buddy of mine. So he was hitting me to like all the stuff that you're doing that I was not aware of. By the way, speaking about conquering, why aren't you getting involved with the multi-billion-dollar gaming industry?
Like gambling?
No, gaming. Like so.
You mean like playing video games?
Yeah, I just took my company from $0 to $300 million in valuation, and then I launched the newest, fastest growing esports and gaming lifestyle brand, and the most diverse one in the world. I signed Sway Lee, Ozuna, Ezekiel Elliott, Nigel Sylvester, Quality Control Music, all these guys. Like, I've been the guy intersecting music and gaming for the past 4 years. I brought Offset, Pitbull, Yo Gotti, DJ Paul, Ray J, Troy Carter, everybody into that space. You got to get in that space, bro. It's fucking massive.
Well, what's funny is I was having a meeting with a group that's actually doing a school on how to have a team, how to play, how to manage, to do all the things that come with being a part of that whole environment, because they should be teaching that in curriculums. Like I just had this meeting today.
Well, that's why I brought Pitbull in, because he owns Slam School, Sports Leadership and Management. He has over 210 schools. And that's 4 years ago when I first brought him in. I said, we need to build this curriculum into your schools because esports is the new sports.
No.
You know, more people watch esports than sports.
What I was thinking was it needs to be implemented, like there should be a high school team, esports high school teams. But
they have them.
That's good. So
they give scholarships for college for esports.
Yeah. So the problem I'm having with real sports is that if you're going to play basketball, and if they're going to, or football, and devote your whole life to it, knowing that it's like lotto to actually make it at a professional level, they should also be teaching you every other aspect of the business, so that if you don't make it as an athlete, you can make it as an administrator in that world. But instead, the way they build the jails is the amount of people that don't graduate, or the amount of people that don't read. That's how big they make the jail. So it's either you graduate and learn how to get a job, or you play basketball and don't learn anything, and then when you don't get to play, they figure you're going to go sell drugs or do something criminal, and then they put another cell in there with another place for you to sit and eat. And
yeah, Dan, we should talk. I mean, an article just got published that I wrote. You know, the title of it was, how gaming is the new hip hop, and how it's the new way out of the hood. Like, you know, when you're from the hood, all you think about is music or sports. You know what I mean? And it's like you got to spend 10, 15 years playing Pop Warner, go to high school, beat the shit out of your body to maybe, hopefully, potentially get into a college and then go to the NFL or the NBA. You could literally make $1 million like in a couple months with gaming. And like you said, you don't have to just be like one of the top gamers. You could be a content creator, you can be a manager, there's a whole shit ton of jobs you can do within this space that you don't got to go to college. You don't got to spend all these times. You don't got to have hoop dreams for a decade to become successful. Massive space. You should definitely learn more about it. I can teach you more about it. You should definitely get involved, especially having a platform like you do.
Absolutely. I mean, I think there's a lot of new ways to make bread that just people have to understand, like the NFTs, like you said, the gaming, you know, all these different opportunities that are presenting themselves that are different, that only 9% of the world even know about. So it's good to get in on these things early, because the world is going to move in a certain kind of direction, and you could get caught and, you know, understand it early and be in that 1% or be back in the 99 where you stay. There's opportunities to break a social class without giving up your ass. Oh, you just have to look.
Right, 100%. But I definitely implore that you get familiar with the gaming space. Very, very big, and you could have a huge impact in there, especially with your platform and who you are.
Well, you know, pass me to the plug. I'm down.
You're talking to the plug. Remember, I heard you say, stop hogging the plug. I'm sharing the plug with you right now.
Share it. Put me on.
All right, well, Dave, man, you're one of the greatest to ever do it. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you've done for the culture, for hip-hop, for our generation, what you continue to do for future generations. I really appreciate it and love you for all that you've done. No pause, because the love is real.
All right. Appreciate that, bro. Yo, you did a record with us, right? A battle record, right? Then we do a mixtape?
Yeah, I did a bunch of shit with you guys.
Yeah, we did mad shit. I remember. Yeah, you remember how we used to get down? How I used to get down? You know?
Say what?
You remember how I used to get down? I was empower all the DJs, mixtapes. Instead of being mad, they bootleg, and I'd be trying to put everybody on. So whoever was the newest, hottest, youngest cat, I'd be like, yo, come on, if you're doing it, I'm going to give you the music. Bootleg my own shit.
And you did give me music.
Mm-hmm.
I remember your office well. I'd walk in there and you'd be mad at somebody and I'd be like, what's up, bro? And you'd be like, what's up, man? I'd be like, yo, I'm doing this mixtape. You'd be like, this you? Yeah, man. Yo, here, take this. I'm like, hi, word. I'm like, yo, Dave just gave me a freestyle. I don't think nobody else has this shit.
Yeah. It was that easy, and it still should be. I hope they're having fun like I did. You know, I really do. Yeah. I hope the industry is as fun as when I left it. But, well, Dave, who knows?
Just one last thing before you go, because I'm a huge fan of resolution. And I hate beefs. I hate when people don't get along. I hate when there's problems. I love when people can acknowledge differences and just become cool. Do you think there'll ever be a point where we will publicly see, you and Jay being friends? Not saying you're not, I'm just saying, but will the public see you guys, like the fans of what you guys created, ever see you guys in public together as like the original Rockefeller?
As the original Rockefeller, probably not.
Well, that's what we look at you as. But I'm saying, see you guys together, like.
Who knows, bro? It's nothing I'm thinking about. You know what I'm saying? So if it happens, it happens. I don't give a fuck.
So you're open to it.
It just I mean, I'm just not thinking about it. It's just, you know, if it's supposed to be, it'll happen. But if it's not, it won't. Either way, I'm all right. You know
if you thought about it, would that be a pause?
I just would have to be inspired. You know, I'm just, again, like, it's just nothing I've been really thinking about. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I go through chapters in my life. Rockefeller was a great chapter in my life, and the people I affected, they really, 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 really love it. You know?
Right.
But there's other chapters in my life that other people that, like I said, there's the DD 172 chapter. You know, there's this whole culture vultures chapter. There's this whole art chapter. You know, there's this rock music chapter. You know what I mean? It's just hard for me to keep thinking about one situation when I've had so many that I've really, really enjoyed. Like, how long has it been since Rockefeller? Like 15, 20 years? Like, how long has it been?
Right.
So it's like, that wasn't the last thing
15,
I did fun.
Yeah, 16, 14.
The very next year I made history, doing something completely different. And the very next year after that. And every year I make new history, doing something different. You know, I'm only relevant today, not because of what I did yesterday. It's because of what I'm doing now and what I plan on doing. At the end of the day, no matter what, I'm always doing something that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just like doing cool shit. I don't give a fuck if the world's ready for it or not. I just like doing cool shit. I just like working with people that I, you know, find a common ground with and that have, you know, a common mentality. And I just like to really create art. Like, again, I'm in a rock band at 50. But if you think it's funny, I challenge somebody to go. You can go get this shit on, you know, on what?
Oh, you got music out?
Yeah, you get on Spotify, Apple. It's called.
What's the band name?
The Black Guns. The album's called Therapy. It's a docu-series on Dame Dash Studios where I go through every record. But I'm Billy Pablo III as a rock artist. You know, that's my name. I'm Billy Pablo III. That's my alter ego when I'm just straight artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a ball. We do shows. We done did shows at the Canary Club in New York, Peppermint Lounge in LA before the world ended. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I got my guitar player is the best guitar player breathing. I would do a versus with him against anybody breathing in guitar. His name's Tash.
Are you the singer in the band?
Yeah.
We got to say the band again. The Black Guns, and the album's called Therapy.
Hmm?
So you guys in the chat, there's almost 19,000 people watching Dame right now. So you guys got to go check out his new album.
Play it right now. Line them up, shut them down. Shit is hard.
All the shit that I made, play a sample right there.
All the records that I made were really relevant this year, and I made them last year. So I got records like Revolution and Why Cry and Fuck You Pay Me, all type. It's like punk rock, but like the shit is hard. The shows are hard. Billy Pablo.
Are you singing or chanting, like rapping kind of?
Go play it.
I can't play it here. You play it. You have it. You have to have it right next to you.
Put it on. Put the what you call it on. The one of the episodes like Revolution.
We're about to hear the legendary Dame Dash.
Or line them up. Oh, play we about to. This is one I'm gonna give you a sneak preview. We didn't put this one out because what I did was, I broke every record down. I did an episode for the making of it. So this is you know my shit's a real. Go ahead, play it real quick. I'm gonna show you some real. So I'll show it to you real fast.
All right, so we're gonna hear Dame Dash. He's a singer. He's a singer in a rock band. It's called Black Guns. The album's called Therapy, but this is an exclusive record that's not on the Therapy album.
No, it's on the Therapy album, but with the visual. I just was editing the. We were just editing the. Here, look, I'll show you. This is live. Sneak preview of new shit.
said it. To be a boss, it means to be fearless. It means you look for the smoke. It means you control the narrative. You don't pay me, I pay you. You take nothing from me, I take from you. And the only way to be great is to deal with those problems and look forward to them. Face your face. It's easy when you get punched, but you always gotta punch back. I look for the problems, line them shits up so I can shut them down.
Line 'em Up is a cool song, man, because it's a dope song.
Yeah. You know.
So people in the chat are saying why cry is a lit record.
Oh yeah, why cry? It's hard. So people that know
Look at Dave out here. Look at Dave. It's like I'm gonna be the artist too now, man.
you're missing it though. I can't. How is it that you don't know
Let me
about
give
this?
myself a deal.
You got to get yourself back outside. You can't miss the fly cool shit.
I'm gonna give myself a 360 deal.
Nah, I'm not going. I'm gonna just make some music and shit, you know, and be a rock star and have fun. But we do.
No, it's really dope to it's really liberating to hear how you're just doing shit because you just fucking want to. You know what I mean? It's just, if the whole world just did shit because they cared and they liked it and it was cool to them and they were passionate about it and they weren't always chasing the bag, as you said earlier, everybody would be so much fucking happier. We'd have less fucking problems because you're doing what the fucking love to do. But you did what you needed to do to get to where you wanted to get to so you could do the things you wanted to do.
Basically,
That is the makeup of Dame Dash.
like you heard of Happily Ever After. This is that. This is Happily Ever After. What happened to Rockefeller? I went and lived happily ever after. This is not new for me. This has been the last 10, 15 years.
Right.
Like I'm really 50. Can you believe that?
Do you know who I can't believe is 50? You're probably even a bug out too.
No,
Who kid is 50 years old?
that's crazy.
Can you believe that?
Niggas is 50, bro. So
He's fucking. He looks 28 still.
well, I ain't seen him in a while. But
Yeah, nah, he looks 28. It's crazy. He's 50 years old.
hip hop keeps you young. I could throw some beard dye on my shit anytime, but I just won't.
And you'll look 10 years younger.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that.
But it's
just can't
crazy.
do it.
There's something about our era that like everybody just stays looking like Fat Joe was just on the show earlier. Like I'm like, dude, what is your skincare regimen? Like, how the fuck do you look so young?
It's beard dye.
He said he uses Dove soap.
Whatever. I don't even get into those questions with niggas. But my point is,
Because that's a pause.
basically. But for me, I'm not worried about that. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, we stayed crispy, and some of us are vain, some of us are not. I've never been one that was so worried about my looks. I just like being healthy. I
Right.
like being fresh. But doing the extras and the makeup and all that, I can't. As a dude, I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not knocking nobody that does. It's just I just feel like I just take the cards that life gives me and love it. I'm having a ball.
Well, I think that when you don't like the hand that you've been dealt, then you just become the dealer. And I think that you've become the dealer, Dame Dash.
I definitely have been a dealer for a long time.
Dame, love you, man. Love everything that you're
I
doing.
appreciate
Love
it.
everything that you've done.
Congratulations. So did you sell your company? What happened? Evaluation? Did you sell it on some EBITDA shit? What happened?
I left that one and started a bigger, better one because the same reasons why many reasons why you said in here, working with other people that don't understand culture, don't understand business, don't understand how to move strategically, they don't understand the plays, and you're tired of trying to like bang your head against the wall like, this is why, look at the past 10 things I've done, one. Why are you still questioning me? So it's like, I'm just going to go on and do my own shit.
Did you catch that big lick yet?
What do you mean?
Where you sold a company or, got that big check? Did you get that yet?
Almost there.
Almost there?
Almost there. Almost there.
What's the multiple?
10 times.
10 times EBITDA?
Say what?
10 times EBITDA? That's
I don't know what the word.
Yeah, if you're going to sell a company, you better know the word EBITDA. Remember I told you that.
All right. Well, I wouldn't be the one selling it. The guy that's in charge of that would.
No. See, that's where you have to know everything. No. Come on, bro. We got to talk. Give me. You got to know EBITDA. So a multiple is based on the EBITDA, and that's basically how much money after taxes and everything else you make.
I got it. Sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying.
Yeah, EBITDA.
Yeah, I got it. We should definitely link up. We should definitely link up on many facets.
There's never a reason to get into a business if you're a businessman if you don't know what the exit strategy is.
course, I know what the exit strategy is for all three companies.
So let me know. I want to get some money with you. Let's do it.
I will. The gaming space is ripe, and I'm building the UMG of gaming.
Dope. All right. Well, let me know. But I definitely want to educate these kids on how to get one up on that, and not just think about just only playing games, but also understanding how to control the game. So that's dope.
100%.
So congratulations. 100%. It's all good. Come holla at me when I get to LA. Maybe. Are you in LA or New York?
I live in LA.
Oh, you live in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, so why you ain't do this at my studio?
I don't know.
You didn't know I had one, did you?
I did know because Q told me.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we could have did this in Burbank with the movie cameras and the shit in the back. Matter of fact, pause. You owe me an interview. So, whenever I do an interview with someone, in exchange, they have to do one with me on my network and on my platform. So, I'll at you, and I'll see you in Burbank.
And then we can talk about my new book, How to Win Big in the Music Business. And Damon John wrote the foreword.
Dope. That's fly. Congratulations. How's that getting distributed?
Did it self-distributed.
How's that going?
Fantastic. Phenomenal. It has a whole course and everything with it.
That's dope. Yeah, my girl just did a kid's book and then also a syllabus from the womb to 3 years old. My son is potty trained at 4 months old. He's 6 months now. He hasn't taken one shit in his diaper.
That's crazy. And I thought my daughter was great walking at 9 months. She never even crawled. She just went right to walking.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen with that. He might do that. He looks like he want to move around, but he looks like he might crawl too. He's ready. Anyway, all right, bro. So get back to your daughter. I'm gonna get back to my son.
All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I'll see you soon.
All right, Brody. Later.
All right, buddy. Dave Dash, ladies and gentlemen, get familiar.